Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network. Don't forget, Golf Talk Radio is brought to you by the Paso Robles Golf Club, multi-million-dollar renovation. PasoRoblesGolfClub.com. Call 805-238-4722 for tee times. And we've partnered up Paso Robles Golf Club with the Paso Robles Inn, and they've been both kind enough to put together one-night stay, 2 rounds of golf. Go to golftalkradio.com and enter free. And then Billy and I will do the drawing on Saturday, April 28th for a winner. It's about probably over a $500 value.
Do you have to be a Giant fan for that?
You do not. You can just be alive.
Just which would help.
Just be
You're
alive.
a GTR producer. Are you ineligible?
Yes, you are. I have to read that.
I can't win either?
No.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I believe that we have the amazing Tripp Davis on the line. Tripp, are you with us?
I am.
What a pleasure to have you on, sir. I was doing some reading up on you. You were part of the national championship from Oklahoma back in '89. You were an incredible amateur player from 2000, 2004. So you've got a great golf resume. So congratulations on that.
Well,
but check it out. Now you are building and redesigning and tweaking golf courses. You're one of the finest golf course architects around. You're the lead. I believe you're the lead golf course architect for the American Society of Golf Course Architects. Am I right so far?
pretty much, yeah.
Awesome. I did a little homework. But first, welcome to the show, and take some time out of your busy schedule. I know that something exciting is happening at the end of April to you and part of your creations. But can you tell us a little bit about you, anything you would like to share, your background that I didn't already mention, and a little bit about the American Society of Golf Course Architects?
Well, the American Society of Golf Course Architects is a group of guys that practice golf course architecture, and it was founded in 1947 by a group of guys from all over the country. You had Billy Bell, who does a lot of work out in your part of the world, was one of the founding members. And Donald Ross was kind of the first president. And so they had their first meeting at Pinehurst in North Carolina. And since then, there's been about 180 guys that have been in the society. And so it's not a real big group, but the intent really is just to promote golf course architecture. So I've been a member for about 10 years, but, everybody... most every golf course architect you can think of over the last 70, 80 years, or whatever that be, 70 years, have been a member. But it's a neat thing to be a part of.
Well, it must be, and especially because I read a little bit more about you, that you have this love, you and your partner, which I'll drop his name here in a minute, that built this golf course, have a love for the old school, if you will, the classics, the courses back in the early days. Can you explain a little bit of why the love and what's so unique about those golf courses versus to the modern day course?
Well, the thing that Justin and I love a lot about old style golf is the subtle strategy, how subtle they are with how they suggest the way you play holes. Some of the best of those, are not about one part of the game. You can really have a variety of different strengths and still be able to score, and I know they've lengthened some of them ridiculously long, but, even if you were to play those at a shorter length, Wingfoot West being a great example, in my opinion, of a golf course that, if played at 7,200 yards long and get the greens fast, it's a golf course everybody can compete on, because you have to think, you have to position your ball, you have to not have a weakness in your game. And, or golf courses like that are going to expose those weaknesses. Not always in a penal way, not to make it just excessively tough, but in an interesting way sometimes. Instead of, being able to make par on a short par four, if you play it wrongly, those kind of things may expose a weakness, and it may be tough to make par. And those are the things that I really love about golf course architecture and the game of golf, because it really should be more, in my opinion, it should be more of a strategic game and less about having one
power,
strength.
Yeah, that's so well said. And I'm a big fan of the old. I'm kind of old myself, but I'm a big fan of the classic golf courses, and grew up in New England, and there's a bunch of them over there that I just fall in love with. But It's written that you have a unique, besides your great golfing talents, you have a unique blend of education in land sciences. What is land sciences? What does that mean?
Well, I got my master's degree in landscape architecture. That was probably one of the PR girls trying to make it sound interesting.
But, okay, cool. It did sound interesting. It got my attention.
Yeah,
man.
great job.
No, I have a master's degree in landscape architecture. I played at the University of Oklahoma from 85 to 89, and when I came out of school, we had just won the national championship, and I'd had a pretty good senior year, and I tried to play for a little bit and realized how good I really wasn't. And
that's so well said. I get it too.
So I went back to graduate school, and literally I didn't touch a club for about 3 years because graduate school in landscape architecture is pretty time consuming, and I was having to work through that to pay for grad school, and so I didn't really get to play a great deal. So that's what the degree in land sciences is. I mean, that's basically correct.
Is landscape architecture, or is landscape that you studied architecture, is not just related to golf courses? It's strictly landscaping. It could be used anywhere. Is it more of a general?
Right.
Oh, that's so cool, man. But you have a great yard.
Yeah. Well, no. See, I went to the University of Oklahoma's landscape architecture program, which is in the architecture school, so it's more of a macro design approach, more big scale like golf courses.
Yeah, very.
And so I didn't learn much about trees or plants or so forth. I learned more about grading and drainage and so forth. So my wife is very disappointed in me.
That is funny. This could be a tougher question because it's kind of like choosing your favorite kid, but you're also regarded as one of the leading restoration specialists in the United States. So you're kind of taking golf courses and restoring them. But you also build golf courses from scratch. Which do you like better? Is there one that you prefer to do? Take an old existing one and I like, there's great where it said you like make subtle changes, or do you like just starting from here's a piece of land, let's go? Which do you have a preference?
Well, the new course work pays a lot better. I'll say that. But they're a little bit more difficult projects, and the way that the restoration and renovation market has kind of gone here, especially lately, because we're coming into a time frame where there were a lot of golf courses built. And so I like doing restorations probably more than new course work for sure. Especially when we get to work with something that was designed by, a Billy Bell or a George Thomas. I did a project up in New Jersey a few years ago that George Thomas had done the original design on. And A.W. Tillinghast had come in and done a complete makeover about 10 years after Thomas did the original design. So those kind of things are a lot of fun because you're not only looking at the strategy and trying to make the golf course more fun to play, you're also looking at stylistic elements that are interesting. Like this is Spring Lake Golf Club in New Jersey that we worked on. And so when you've got a Thomas project, you kind of think of that L.A. North bunker style with the kind of craggly edge. And then when you think of what Tillinghast had left there, you think of greens with a lot of contour interest. And he had more of a varied bunker style, whereas at this particular project at Spring Lake, he had done more of a grass-faced bunker style. And so we kind of married the two between Thomas and Tillinghast, where we had kind of a lower grass line than you'd see it like in L.A. North, but we had that craggly line to kind of bring both styles in. So that's fun. But we're seeing a lot of golf courses today where they're having to be rebuilt because there was a lot of work being done in the late 80s, early 90s, and all of that work now, the infrastructure, the irrigation system, greens, bunkers, tees, so forth, are coming to a point where they need to be redone. And so we're doing a lot of what I would call reconstruction as well, which I enjoy.
In the reconstruction part, do you have freedom of tweaking the design, or is it just take the existing design and get it functional?
It depends on the project. Like Northwood in Dallas this year, we just was designed by a guy named William Diddle, who was actually one of the founding members of the ASGCA back in '47. Didn't do a great deal of work. Most people don't know of him, but he had Northwood in Dallas held a U.S. Open not long after he built it. So he was kind of one of the first guys that, you see guys today like Dana Fry got to have a U.S. Open at Erin Hills not long after it was done. Well, Bill Diddle was one of those kind of guys back in the 50s. And so doing that project, we really tried to restore his style. And whereas we're doing a rebuild of at Green Tree Country Club out in Midland, Texas, where there we're going to get to kind of do our own style. And so
wow.
I like both. I think they're both fun to do.
You had nothing going on in your life, huh, Tripp? Joining us, Tripp Davis, one of the renowned golf course architects. And let's talk about the Old American Golf Club. I mean, it's a really great project. It's exciting. And at the end of the month, I believe there's an LPGA event there. I'm pretty sure of that. Is it relatively new, even though the name says Old American? Because I know why the name says Old American Golf Club. How long ago did you and Justin build it? How old is that golf course?
We opened it in fall of 2010.
Yes.
Wow. So we built it in 2009 and then part of 10, and it was a really neat project. I had done a golf course adjacent to that property before with the same owner, and called the Tribute, and it was an opportunity there. The owner there is a guy named Jack Matthews who really likes to do thematic types of things. He owns a couple of Gillies country western bars, and so anything he does, he likes to do it really thematically. And so the Old American was, he said, I want you to go to Scotland for 3 weeks, and hang out, play golf, and then come back, and I want you to do a golf course that kind of is a tribute to what you saw over there.
What a bummer assignment, huh? That's terrible. You had to go do that. What a tough assignment.
I know, that was awesome.
I'm so sorry. Well, we only got a few minutes, and then maybe you can hold through the break. But it must be quite an honor to have your course selected, yours and Justin Leonard's course selected for a tour event. I mean, this has got to be a big compliment to you. And I've seen pictures. It is beautiful. You guys go look at the Old American Golf Club. Google it. It's
amazing.
It's so gorgeous where it sits. And but I know you and Justin did some research. You just mentioned in Scotland, you both have a passion for these old style courses. So obviously, that was in your mind, kind of coming back to the old school. That was totally in your mind, and you took that is so great, man. So
that's what we wanted to do. Like we talked about earlier about building a golf course that's really more about strategic variety and interest, and that doesn't really favor one type of game over another. Which is really cool that the LPGA is going to be there because that's the way the girls play. I actually have a greater appreciation for a lot of the way that the women play the game today as opposed to the men because, I find it a more pure form of the game than just standing up and trying to hit it 320, 330. And,
it's funny you mentioned that, Trevor. I didn't mean to cut you off, but both Mike and I have said that many times in the show. We both feel exactly the same way. Yeah. I really appreciate it. It's just awesome. And so what is it, your course, about 6,800, I'm guessing? I don't know. I didn't look at the scorecard. Can you, what is it?
Well, the back tee, we can stretch it to about 71, but it's really a golf course that it's going to be interesting to see how they set this one up, actually, for the women, because and I'm going to get to go do that, which is going to be very cool as well.
Nice. There goes my next question. There goes my last question. That's so cool. So you're involved in the setup. Of how that is so great. Good for you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going. Too cool.
So in any event, it's a golf course that it's open, so the wind can blow, and if we get a little bit of change in wind, it can play very, very differently. It doesn't need to play long to be tough. It's really more about where they put hole locations and speed of greens. If they get the greens up a little fast, and they tuck the hole locations and the wind blows a little bit, it's very difficult. But it's also capable of being set up to be more playable, which I think I would like to see them do. Because I'm not it doesn't give me any jollies to see, tour players, not be able to break 75. I think, you want to see them be able to use their game and actually play well. And so I think we can set it up in a way that, they'll play fairly well. I'd like to see 5, 6, 7 under par, something like that win, but it'd be cool.
Well, I love to hear that he's not setting up like the USGA does with the Open often. They try to beat him to death and shoot par.
We couldn't agree more with Tripp on that. I don't find anything exciting about watching pros shoot 5 or 6 over. It doesn't do it for me. Hey, we only got like a minute left, but I wanted to ask you. This may be an obvious answer, but what is your number one favorite well-designed golf course in the world? Is there one that just sticks out in your mind? Like this is the one I love.
I've got 2 actually. If I had one course to play before I died, I would find a jet somewhere so I could play both of these in the same day, hopefully. And one would be Muirfield in Scotland, and then Pine Valley. I was fortunate to get to play in the Crump Cup at Pine Valley for a number of years, and that's just an incredible golf course. It embodies everything that I love about golf course architecture.
That's
awesome.
What you do is so fascinating, and we could talk to you for hours. We appreciate your taking time out of your busy schedule, Tripp. Congratulations on the Old American, and best success. All eyes will be on you this at the end of the month in April. And again, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Anytime.
Oh, that'd be great. We'd love to have you back on, so we might call.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
Tripp. Thanks, Tripp.
Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, that's Tripp Davis, American Society of Golf Course Architects. He's the principal lead golf course architect, and we've posted on our Facebook pages his website there, which you can check out. Very cool. Just type in Tripp Davis, golf course architect in Google, and you'll find it. It's pretty awesome. We want to thank a couple partners again with us here at Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Obviously, Nikki Anderson, Realtor.
I have to keep working on it here.
Realtor. You guys need help with selling your home, listing your home, or just some really great advice? Give Nikki a call today, 805-235-3327. That's 805-235-3327. You can also find her at nikkianderson.theccrg.com. And we'll be right back. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network.